Last Saturday afternoon, I received an email from Mr. Peak letting me know that I was the winner of the Salutatorian award. I felt so glad and honored, and another part of my mind said, "Oh, this is another college essay I have to write." But since this will probably be the last speech I give here at ISQ, I wanted to speak about some things that are near and dear to my heart. As some of you may know, I really liked biology class in 9th grade. I vividly remember looking up videos on YouTube on my own, trying to understand how photosynthesis works, and feeling really excited once everything made sense. And that's how much I was digging the subject. I'm likely going to major in biology in university, and I chose this subject because I experienced genuine curiosity and pleasure in learning this subject. It was purely for my own satisfaction. This year, I had the chance to tutor a biology student after school. It was my first time teaching biology, so there were a couple of mistakes here and there. But what intrigued me was that as my student and I worked through the difficult concepts together, I was so focused that I totally lost track of time. And suddenly, the tutoring session was over, and it was time for us to go back home. I had never felt this ecstatic when I was studying on my own. On the bus back home, I felt tired, but at the same time, I was feeling really proud of myself for being able to help someone in need. It was thrilling to be able to share something I had with another person. Although this was a small experience, it struck me that the greatest happiness comes when we use what we have for others. I never expected to feel this way when I first tried this tutoring job, but eventually this shifted my true purpose of studying. This experience reminded me of the founding ideology of Korea, 홍익인간, or 홍익renjian in Chinese, that I learned from my Saturday Korean school. I also came across this term occasionally in some books, but back then, it wasn't of much impact to me. Dangun, who is the founder of Korea, founded Korea 5,000 years ago on the basis of this idea of 홍익인간, and this means to broadly benefit the human world. Having been the core value of Korea for the last 5,000 years, I believe it is a value naturally embedded in a lot of Koreans. As a third culture kid who almost lived her entire life outside of her own country, it felt precious to know that this same value is within me as well. Looking back at these past 4 years, I studied quite hard, and honestly, I did it for my own benefit. I did it for my college application, and I did it to have one more AP score on my score report. But ultimately, my achievements will only be meaningful when I use it to benefit those around me. And I also learned from my experience that true happiness comes when we do something for others, whether we're aware of it or not. I'm still deep in the process of figuring out what I'll do once I step into society. But I do know that whatever career path I end up choosing, I'll always be a helping hand for someone in need. As a Korean possessing this honorable quality of 홍익인간, I now feel ready to apply this great idea to my life. Now I would like to thank those who influenced my life at ISQ. Mrs. Shi, thank you so much for being like a second mom to me. I will always remember you for being so welcoming when I came to your office to ask you questions about physics and chemistry. I will always be your dear baby girl, huh? Mr. Malin, if I hadn't told you this already, You have been a great supporter for me, and not just in math. I think you always saw more in me than I saw in myself. I was really touched when you told me I was really touched when you told me I was a leader for translating at the Winter Fine Arts Gala. And thank you for seeing me as a whole person and more than just a student. Mr. Bridgman, thank you for letting me call you Les and for chilling with us during study hall. You were one of those teachers who feels like a friend to the students. And Mrs. Mack, who is in the US right now, thank you for staying up until 1 a.m. in the morning, helping me fix my AP Literature essay. I was truly touched by your passion for this class. Appa, thank you for being the best dad ever. You have been the book recommender for our family for the last few years, and I truly enjoyed all the conversations our family had at our dinner table regarding books, world issues, and just life in general. You really helped me gain a broader perspective on life. And most of all, thank you for writing a song for me. It was so special when I found that song on Apple Music and other streaming platforms, and I love to listen to it whenever I feel down or sad. And I'll definitely play it at my wedding. Hey Mom, Oma. I have lots to say, but I'll respect your privacy because you're kind of a public figure here at ISQ. I still remember the little cozy playroom we had at our old apartment complex where Gina and I could play for hours on end. Thank you for not sending me to academies when I was in elementary and letting us play. Looking back, I think that's what helped Gina and me build such a close relationship and to grow so close to each other. And I think that's what makes us super good sisters today. I also think it gave me the strength to endure the rigorous academics in high school. You always told us that once we got tired of playing, then we'll have the energy to really learn and absorb the knowledge. So thank you. Our childhood is so precious to me and Gina, and we will cherish these memories forever. I can't imagine my life in Korea without you, but I'll try not to call you every single second asking questions like, how do you use a credit card? And my dear Gina, I had so much fun this year being in Stuco with you. Although you are 3 years younger than I am, I learned so much from you. And sometimes I think you're the older sister, not me. Thanks for being my bestie for life, and don't make too much trouble at school when I'm gone. And to my grandparents watching in Korea, 할머니, 할아버지, 외할머니, 외할아버지, 손녀딸 졸업해요. 저 할머니표 김치가 너무 그리워요. 저 한국 가면 맛있는 거 많이 사주세요. 사랑해요. And lastly, dear class of 2022, thanks for suffering with me for the past 4 years. And here's a small shout out to my pre-K family, Emily, Tom, and Ethan. Thanks for being my friend for the past 14 years. I will miss you guys so much. Let's keep in touch, and I wish you all the best. Maya Angelou once said, "Giving liberates the soul of the giver." Regardless of where we are and in whatever situation we are in, we always have something to offer others. And tonight, I hope we can all think about what we have within us to share with others. Thank you.